What's up, Headliner Nation? Kyle back with the Fantasy Headliners. My second video today, and actually my second video within just a few hours of each other, because Headliner Nation, you need this breaking news as quickly as possible, and I am dedicated to getting it to you. This morning, when we found out Leonard Fournette was released, I rolled my butt up out of bed and got out into the studio first thing. And this afternoon, I said, you know what? Screw lunch. I'm not going to worry about it today. I need to record a quick video instead for Headliner Nation so we can talk about some more breaking news that we've got coming from Adam Schefter this afternoon. And it comes with another major running back in the fantasy football landscape. And that is Alvin Kamara of the New Orleans Saints. And basically what has happened now over the last 3 days is Alvin Kamara has been unexcused from practice. And it sounds like it could be a potential holdout scenario. Now, right now, as a fantasy football owner, what you should be doing is, number one, adding Latavius Murray. If you're an Alvin Kamara owner, go check in on Latavius Murray. Don't overpay, but check in on him anyway. If you don't own Alvin Kamara and you own Murray and someone comes asking, make sure they pay a lot. Don't let Murray walk for nothing. Right now, personally, my feelings on this, I'm not really that worried right now. I don't think that we're going to see a whole lot of holdouts, one of them being Alvin Kamara, okay? Because he's coming off a season in which he was injured. If he were to hold out, now he's coming off a season in which he was injured, numbers were down, didn't look great on the field. Now you hold out. The look heading into potential free agency next year just doesn't look good. I do believe Alvin Kamara probably gets something done, but it might take a while. I think this is something that we're going to get done right before the season, because if I had to guess, Kamara and the Saints are going to go back and forth a little bit, because Kamara wants to be paid like a workhorse running back, and I'm going to assume that the Saints are basically going to say, well, we've never used you as such, we're using you differently, this is how we think we should pay you, and there might be some difference there. I do think something ends up getting done. I do think Alvin Kamara is on the field week 1, but this might be a in-faith type negotiation where we say we're definitely going to get something done. We really got to have you out there week 1. Let's get you out there, and this is kind of what we've agreed to so far. So that is what I would say ends up happening over the course of this. Now, if you are drafting coming up soon and this worries you in any way, shape, or form, I get it, okay? I'm not moving him out of my running back 4 spot. I'm leaving him as is. But if you're feeling like you're a little too worried and you want to play it safe, go with Zeke here still if you want to, okay? That's not big of a deal with me. Go with a Derrick Henry. Go with someone that's not going to be nearly as risk-adverse as Alvin Kamara might be. Me, I'm not moving him. I think everything ends up being fine, but there are talks that there is a potential holdout going on. And one difference between Kamara and Mixon is basically they've said he's unexcused. Like, he's supposed to be here and he's not. With Mixon, they've said, well, he's dealing with something right now. He's dealing with an injury, and we saw Mixon on the sidelines for their scrimmage last night. So Mixon is in camp. He's just been dealing with something, they've said. So even if we're worried about Mixon, Alvin Kamara and Mixon are two completely different things. If you really want to worry, I'd be more worried about Alvin Kamara than I would be about Joe Mixon at this point. So me personally, though, again, I'm not that worried about Kamara right now. I think he's out there week 1. I think something ends up getting done. Might just take a little bit of time. Now, I ask for you all to please respect my privacy during this time and not ask me too many questions, because I'm trying to deal with the fact that Jalen Reagor is going to be out for the next 4 weeks with a partial labrum tear, okay? It's been a rough 24 hours, Headliner Nation. My boo, Jalen Reagor, the guy that I've been pumping to you since before the combine, since after the combine, since he was drafted with Philadelphia, my rookie wide receiver 1 for 2020 and my rookie wide receiver overall number 2. He's going to miss some time. Now, I talked with Dr. Ethan Turner, and he can play through this injury, okay? But the question is going to be is, how uncomfortable will it be? Because he's going to be uncomfortable. This isn't going to be something that's just going to heal overnight. It's going to take some time for him to get back to himself. So right now with Jalen Reagor, what Dr. Turner said was basically what he thinks is going to happen is they're going to test this out come week 1. He might be like listed as questionable or something come week 1. We might see him test it out. And then at that point, it might be, okay, how long or how far are we actually away? So don't expect to see him on the field until maybe week 3 or week 4 of the regular season. If you own Jalen Reagor, if you've already drafted him, do not drop him, please. Don't do it. Just wait for right now, okay? If you have the designation on your fantasy team to like somebody that's listed as out to put them on the IR slot, do that, okay? Don't get rid of Jalen Reagor just yet. I know why you might be tempted to do it, but just hold on to him and let's let this develop over the course of the next couple of weeks and see how close he is going to be to playing, because he's still going to be the number 1 target in that offense. Oh, yeah, even over Zach Ertz come the regular season when he's on the field. We just got to see where he's at. It might take a little bit more time to get going now. Obviously, for me, this is going to knock him down in my rankings just a little bit. I was thinking that he was maybe a low-end wide receiver 2, but now I'm thinking maybe mid to low-end wide receiver 3, because, again, he's going to be missing some time. And how long does it take him to get back in and get comfortable with everything? Staying in Philadelphia, we got to talk about his quarterback, Carson Wentz, who's now day-to-day with a lower body injury. Minor soft tissue is what's being told right now, and that Philadelphia is just being cautious with their quarterback. But for a guy that's had some injuries over the past couple of years, and a guy that's dealt with some lower body injuries, to hear we have a soft tissue issue on the lower body, no, I'm not trying to rhyme. That's just the way it came out. But for somebody that has that soft tissue problem on the lower part of your body, that's already had lower body injuries in the past, it is somewhat concerning that he might be dealing with it already in camp. So, again, right now, the thing that worries me more than Carson Wentz's potential injury is the lack of weapons and his offensive line being decimated. That's my biggest issue right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll continue to see how that plays out. For right now, just continue to eye Carson Wentz. George Kittle, a guy that's going probably in the 3rd round in a lot of drafts right now, has missed his 3rd straight practice with a hamstring issue. Right now, Kyle Shanahan just saying that it's a tight hamstring. We're being cautious. And you know what? It's probably a good idea that they're being cautious, because he's really their only weapon right now. Everybody on the 49ers is going down with an injury. All the pass catchers are. So you got to keep George Kittle healthy. There's no reason to keep rolling him out there and potentially aggravate this hamstring more than it may already be. So don't be surprised if we don't see George Kittle over the next week or so. We probably play it careful with him, continue to draft him. Now, I told you time and time again, I'm not a guy that takes tight ends really early in drafts, so I've been skipping on George Kittle in that 2nd and 3rd round anyway. And if you really want to go a tight end early, I'm going with Mark Andrews. If not, you're waiting till later on in your drafts. With George Kittle, again, me personally, I'm still skipping over him. He's going to get a ton of targets. He's going to get a ton of work. If you really want George Kittle, still go for it. Don't let this keep you from drafting him. He should still be ready to go by week 1. Another minor injury that we're seeing right now, Cooper Kupp, another guy that's being drafted all over the place. Minor ankle injury. He suffered it during the scrimmage the other day, and it should not affect his week 1 availability. So again, continue to monitor that. Don't get too worried about it. Robert Woods is still the wide receiver 1 on that team, but this isn't changing my Robert Woods projection at all. I'm still sticking with Robert Woods on where he will be going, where I have him ranked. I've still got him going in that low-end wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2 area. Cooper Kupp just a few spots behind him as a mid-round or mid-wide receiver 2. This isn't changing anything for me, but again, just continue to keep an eye on these things. If they linger for too long, then we get worried. But for right now, just including this to let you know that if you've had Cooper Kupp on your radar, don't move past him. Trey Burton, a new weapon in Indianapolis, is dealing with probably a significant calf injury. Now, he's dealt with a calf injury before. Last year, he missed time when he was with the Bears with a calf injury. This one looked to be pretty significant. He had to be helped off the field. He wasn't able to get himself off the field. And this, to me, signifies one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are firing up Jack Mother and Doyle. That's right, our boy Jack Mother and Doyle is the guy to get right now for pass catchers in Indianapolis. There is a real possibility that Jack Doyle sees 100 targets this season. Now, I didn't think Trey Burton was going to work into those too much. However, you could see that the Colts were really trying to integrate him to possibly use some more two tight end sets. They have Mo Alley Cox there as well, but Trey Burton's a little bit different of a weapon than what Mo is. So Trey Burton now being out, we're going to look at Jack Doyle to be one of the main pass catchers. We've also seen it, okay, Paris Campbell in the concussion protocol after getting into a car accident. That's not something that's going to be great. Michael Pittman Jr., we've talked about him as well. He's not been having a great camp. He's been up and down. He's been all over the place. Not a very good camp for him. It's been a roller coaster. So really, Jack Doyle is going to be the one guy there outside of T.Y. Hilton that Phillip Rivers will be able to trust. So yes, 100%. Give me some Jack Mother and Doyle. Let me hear it down in the comments below. Hashtag Jack Mother and Doyle if you think that you're going to be targeting him this year. Dwayne Haskins for the Washington football team. I just barely caught myself almost saying it. Dwayne Haskins is looking improved in camp. Now, Jake has been all over Dwayne Haskins this year as a potential breakout at the quarterback position. And I have to tell you, I agree with him, and he's looking like it in camp. He's shown a greater control of the offense. He's shown a better understanding of the offense. They talked about some 2-minute drills that they were running the other day, and Dwayne Haskins looked poised. He was hitting his receivers. There was a 4th down play where the offense would have had to punt. Dwayne Haskins stayed in the pocket, then got outside to buy some time, and then had a 4th down pass to pick up the 4th down. So they're saying that he has a better control and understanding of the offense, and that accuracy is looking a little bit better as well. Again, on the run, moving out of the pocket, was able to hit his receiver for the 1st down. He's had some really nice throws on the sidelines. He's not just going with that deep ball. He's able to go all over the field, which is really good for Dwayne Haskins. So for those of you in a super flex league or a 2 QB league, Dwayne Haskins is a great late round buy. If you're in a 1 quarterback league, probably not drafting Dwayne Haskins, but he could end up being a guy that will be a good late round value that you use in place of a bye week. Okay, so not necessarily drafting him, but pick him up off waivers later on. Use him in your bye week for your quarterback 1, and you could end up being able to make it through just fine. Joshua Kelly from the Los Angeles Chargers. Is he the new running back 2 there? A lot of people assumed it would be Justin Jackson backing up Austin Eckler. But Joshua Kelly has really shown out more than what Justin Jackson has in camp so far. So much so that Joshua Kelly is getting a lot of the first team reps now. Is Josh Kelly going to eat into Austin Eckler? Heck no. Okay? We're still drafting Austin Eckler as a running back 1. The dude is still poised for a huge year. You are still banking on Austin Eckler to be the guy for you. Joshua Kelly is not going to see the same workload that Melvin Gordon saw last year. But there is a good possibility that Joshua Kelly sees more than enough carries on the ground that if they have a really good matchup, and the passing game just isn't great, maybe Tyrod just doesn't end up being, Ty God Taylor. I even caught myself messing up on that one. Maybe he's just having a rough game or whatever, or maybe it's going to be a defense that's going to be really strong against the pass, but you could see some decent advantage on the run game. Joshua Kelly might be a flex opportunity for you. And of course, if anything were to happen to Austin Eckler in terms of an injury or missing any time, Joshua Kelly might be the guy that we are running to add right away. And then last but not least, Kalen Ballage. Talked about him the other day. Isn't this the most Ballage Jets thing that you could possibly have? He fails his physical trying to get traded to the Jets. He gets sent back to the Dolphins. And now he's just kind of in limbo. So, I mean, that's a Jets thing, right? That's exactly what would typically happen. So Gase tries to go out and get himself this running back for whatever reason, and he can't even do it. Gase is trying to give draft picks to the Miami Dolphins, and he can't even do that. That's how awful Adam Gase is. They're like, here, take your draft picks back. But there you have it. There's some breaking news, updates, information that you got to have out of NFL training camp. Do me a favor, Headliner Nation. Y'all are showing out in strong numbers right now, and we absolutely appreciate it here on the Fantasy Headliner. So let's continue to do it. Hit that like button for me if you enjoy all the content. Also, hit that subscribe button. Help us on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We are getting closer to 90,000, which is that next step, and then 100,000 after that. So hit that subscribe button. Become a part of Headliner Nation today. And also, like I said a couple of minutes ago, if you're on Jack, Mother, and Doyle, hashtag Jack, Mother, and Doyle down in the comments below. Headliner Nation, hopefully you all are doing well, staying safe, staying healthy, and I will catch you on the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners.